Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. Last time, quite a lot went on, but I think leading into this episode, we found out that someone has been stealing from our treasury, and Lindsay immediately wanted to talk to us in the tavern about it. Seems like she's guilty, but we need to find out more. It is odd that she's standing here. Okay, she can't talk to us here. Let's go to the... I thought I almost clicked on the option to tell her to go. Let's go to the tavern and talk to her and find out what's going on with our treasury. We still need to go to Varnhold at some point because something's going on there. But for now, let's head into the tavern. Yeah. Alright, Lindsay, where are you? Over here. Lindsay shuffles around nervously, fidgeting with a quill in her hands. She turns bright red. Well, about the embezzlement, I mean, calm down, Lindsay. Everything's fine. What is it you want to tell me? Lindsay takes a deep breath. Well, it was me, but I can explain. You see, I've always dreamed of owning my own printing house, so I could print whatever books I want. And then I found out there was a printing press being sold for cheap in Brevoy, and well, I just couldn't resist. And you couldn't ask? Great idea, good for you. Alright, you can open your publishing house, but no more surprises. Another one of your tricks, or you dipped into the treasury. Anyone else would already be behind bars for this. You'll return all the money, I don't care where you get it from, and never mention the publishing house again. You should have just asked. Printing is really valuable. So, it's probably a good thing if you can buy a printing press for cheap. That we do get one here, but stealing from me for it isn't good. Yeah, you can open your publishing house, but no more surprises. Thank you, you have my word, it won't happen again. There is one other problem, though. The press should have been delivered by now, but it hasn't shown up. I'm afraid that with our roads and the seeming menagerie that roams them, it might end up vanishing into thin air. Can we maybe go check on it? See if anything's happened? It was supposed to be coming across the old road through the gnarl marches. I hope you didn't just throw money at someone without having any guarantees or whatever. Like, if this is just a scam... Alright, let's go find your press. It's already been paid for, after all. Not a chance. You can go out and salvage it if you wish. Alright, let's go find the press. Yes, just don't leave without me. Yeah. Okay. So, Lindsay bought a press, which then got apparently stolen by bandits on the road. Fantastic. So we need to bring her into the party. I guess that's sort of the rotating position. So we'll bring Lindsay in. And where is your printing press? You said through the gnarl marches, so it's got to be back here somewhere. Find the printing press that didn't make it to the capital. Is it the Swamp Witch's hut? I was not expecting that. Is that really the shortest trip to get there? Terrible. But I guess so. Alright, well, let's start making our way down there. We were just down there, though. Okay, with that in mind, we did have these other quests I said we would think about. Yeah. Missing Apprentice and Shania. Where were you guys at? Because you're probably in some of our towns, but I don't remember which ones. And I'm not seeing things marked on the map. Mainly, I know we're walking past a town, so part of me wants to stop in there. Shania, I thought, was back at one of these. Is it really not telling me where these quests are? Alright, well, while we're on the way, let's stop by this one. We might as well. Could be that one as well. I don't remember exactly.
Adventures can wait.
Looks like everyone else is well rested, so we might just stop right when we get there.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
We should gather our strength.
Yep, we will rest here. So you are great at cooking. So I guess I will do camouflage and do poorly at it.
I heard that in a faraway tribe, people entertain themselves by throwing huge logs. Whoever throws it the farthest is the strongest.
Throwing logs. Ha! What weaklings. The mammoth lords lift mammoths. I used to lift 2 at once.
No, you didn't. You may be strong, but lifting 2 mammoths at once? I don't believe that. Let's head on in. Yeah, the sad thing is we were just down here, so it's like, come on, Lindsay, couldn't you have just told us then? I guess she wasn't around in the party. Shania. Hi. Shania is happy to see you, O most worthy one. Rest your legs and listen to my stories. That is, if you've nothing more important to do, such as assisting me in a delicate situation. Shania gives you a sly wink. What sort of help do you need? The Vidrani proffers a small scroll. This was written by my father. It was meant for a family that has lived for centuries, near the home of my relatives in Absalom. Life has scattered us all across Galarian, but we never gave up hope of reuniting with those we once knew so well. My father asked me to pass this letter to a member of this fine family, if I should ever happen to stumble across one. As I have recently discovered, one of them lives nearby. The noble Hassif trades in your capital, I confess. I am too nervous to meet him. I fear that my anxiety will cause me to behave inappropriately, and I may disgrace myself for it. Would you assist me in fulfilling my duty and deliver him this letter? I do not believe that my heart can be at peace until this letter is delivered. One cannot be a master when beset by such distraction. Hassif is involved in another one of these quests. That surprises me. I'd like to know more about you. I am flattered. Where should I begin? How did you end up here? Have you heard of the Rudra Kavala? High in the Vidrani Mountains lies the Adharam Monastery. Its monks are pious and devout. Their duty is to feed a dead man whose green-skinned body floats over a black metal altar as he meditates. Back when Rudra Kavala was alive, he was the vilest of the Rakshasa. However, one day he stepped upon a riverbank and became a seeker of truth, and thus he stood there for 1,000 years unmoved. Keep listening. A massive ant hive grew around him, but this did not concern Rudra Kavala. 1,000 years passed, and Diomazul, the god of war, came to visit him and offered Rudra Kavala any reward, for he'd shown great merit. The Rakshasa demanded all 8 of the god's swords. Upon receiving them, he chased Diomazul into a dungeon and, content with himself, sat down to rest. Soon the other gods realized that war had left them, for it was much more difficult to resolve conflict and maintain order. And so they began to seek the missing god. To be precise, they found a young hero and tasked him with finding and rescuing Diomazul. But he was terrified by the sight of the mighty 3-headed Rakshasa. While one head was reading Mizravrit Pramodia, the second was puffing on a hookah, while the third was sipping wine. The hero didn't stand a chance in battle, but the Rakshasa's bride fell in love with the hero. It is she that stands before you today. I put Rudra Kavala to sleep with fragrant incense, while my prince took one of his swords and severed all 3 of the Rakshasa's heads. I hid the heads in secret places where my groom could not find them. The memory of my treachery remains in one of his heads. I hope that it will never find its way back to his shoulders, but I'd best stay as far away as possible, in case that ever happens. So I prayed to the gods, and trusting in them, I jumped over the ocean, landing in Varizia. From there, my feet carried me here. I don't know if I fully believe that story to be 100% truth. It seems to me that there are quite a few exaggerations in your stories. Oh, they often say this about the Vudrani. Know then that the gods have given me such lessons in humbleness that it is quite against my nature to lie and spread falsehood. Have you ever been to Niswan? It is the capital of the island of Jalmari, the city of 1,000 rooftops, above which flutters 1,000 silk banners. Not water, but the finest wines flow from their magnificent jade fountains. There isn't a city more beautiful in this world, but Niswan's greatest jewel is its House of Perfection monasteries, wherein the world's finest warriors train. Jalmari is the large island nation in the Obari Ocean off the coast of Nex. Being the inner sea's only link to the legendary kingdoms of the impossible, Jalmari have a unique mystique. The religions that dominate Jalmari are also unique. While Irori has many worshippers across the region, his religion is at its strongest on the island, along with the worship of the 1,000 other deities of Vudra. The inhabitants of Jalmari include an unusually high number of monks. The prowess of their martial arts is renowned across continents, and the 3 houses of perfection are the most sought-after monasteries of the Inner Sea region. Once the Monastery of the Unblinking Flame became jealous that the Monastery of the Unfolding Wind was known as the House of the Greatest Masters, many turned down their invitations of the Unblinking Flame in order to join their white-robed rivals. The Monastery of the Unblinking Flame swore to make them pay for the insult. In the streets, the markets, and the palaces, the red-clad monks would insult the white ones, provoking them to bloody duels. Niswan shook as if from an earthquake. Trust me, for I witnessed it myself. In that life, I was an arrogant master of the Unblinking Flame, and my pride demanded war. I knew that my days were numbered and desired nothing but to see the Unblinking Flame triumph. In my arrogance, I could not see how much suffering I brought to the people. Those who were struck by a monk's fist fell and did not rise again, and those who were touched by a priest's finger were permanently crippled in body and mind. We fought with honor, seeking to demonstrate our mastery, not to murder our enemy, while the townsfolk died by the thousands, and we did not care. Our students, however, secretly arranged the Tournament of Unseen Mercy, which took place on the bridge over an abyss. They fought, and it was agreed that the loser would be shown no mercy, and their bodies would be thrown down into the abyss. By dawn, the bridge was completely empty. It was then that we, the masters, saw how arrogance had weakened our houses and deprived us of our future. The ambitions of the past were all that remained. It was a bitter lesson, and it was then that I swore in all of my incarnations to be always humble and straightforward. I have since kept my promise, no matter how strongly I may wish to embellish my story. Sure. Let's do this another time. Do you enjoy living in my lands? This is a wondrous land. You have such strange cuisine and kobolds. Incredible creatures. We do not have them in Vudra. And those insolent creatures, squirrels. I have never seen such fierce creatures. But this land lacks order. The gods granted Vudra castes. You have none here, and that is why there is no order. For when you meet a member of the lowest caste, you know that they are only barely deserved to be born human. In their previous lives, they were animals, or maybe even a vile thing like kobolds, who are lower than even the lowliest beggars. Trust me, for I have more than once faced their wicked nature. Whereas, when you encounter a member of a higher caste, be he a Padaprajna warrior or a Raja, as you and I, that signifies that in our past lives we were pious and noble, that our words were strong and true. It is that understanding that these lands lack. Alright, we'll have to go. Until we meet again, O worthy one, it shall happen sooner than you think, the perfect human has told me. What did you need from us again? Okay, right, delivering a letter to the merchant in the capital. Man, I lose track of what's going on when talking to her. Her stories are wild. Anyway, let's go back to the witch in the swamp, where apparently our printing press is interestingly enough. There's only like 3 living people here, the witch, and then the 2 fae in the top corner. So if someone's stolen it, either someone new has moved in, or it's probably the witch. But we're on decent terms with her, since we helped her with her mushrooms, so hopefully she'll give it back. Or bandits have moved in and killed our horse. Come on. How did you fools manage to lose the horses? We supposed to carry these boxes ourselves. What even are these iron things? Why the hells do we need them? That's them, Lindsay whispers, pointing at the bandits. Caught red-handed. We'll show them what happens when you take someone else's things without, we'll teach them a lesson. Yeah, like when you stole from me. We're gonna teach them that stealing is wrong. These iron things will get us rich, blockhead. It's now chemical transmutator. I've seen them in Ustalov. We just assemble it, turn it on, and it turns rocks into gold all on its own. Don't just stand there, get in the harness. The immortal principality of Ustalav is a fog-shrouded nation of countless horrors and a once proud realm that suffers under the clawed hands of the whispering tyrant for centuries. Lovely. You sure about this, then? Alright, let's see if we can even get this wagon to move. Guaranteed intimidation. You have 10 heartbeats to disappear. Go. No. I'm just going to deal with the bandits. We don't allow bandits in our territory. I'm not just going to run them off. So they're someone else's problem. Look, it's that scumbag who took down the Stag Lord. And no army to be seen. Lucky day. Get her, everyone. If we take out the Baroness, we can be barons ourselves. Thrash the Baroness scum. Victory. You are welcome to try. Okay, everyone focus there, but the long-range peoples take on...
Taste my fury.
Serves you right.
The archer. Oh, you have 2 archers. 3 archers. Oh well. This isn't gonna take long. There's that. Not even masterwork gear. Okay. Hopefully they didn't break any of your printing press supplies. After inspecting all the boxes and wagons, Lindsay barely restrains herself from kissing the mechanisms inside. The press, safe and sound, just needs some assembly. Yay! I can't believe it. My own publishing house. I have so many ideas, so many plans. I don't know where to begin. What do you think I should print first? What would you like to print? Print something Iravetti banned to just spite him. That's fair. She's something beautiful, a book you wouldn't be ashamed to have your teacher read. This machine needs to pay itself off quickly. Just start with cheap fiction. The quality doesn't matter much as long as they sell well. No. What would you like to print? I don't know. That's why I asked you. I mean, it's more than just a business decision, right? It's, well, a choice, a first step. It's not like my whole career will depend on one book, but I'll always think back on it. Remember when you finally got your own printing press, Lindsay? What was your first printing again? And I don't want to be ashamed of my answer. I think you're overthinking it a bit. But choose something beautiful. A book you wouldn't be ashamed to have your teacher read. Lindsay smiles at you warmly. It was teacher who showed me the beauty hidden in books. I think the best way to repay that kindness would be to do the same for others. Maybe that's really the main calling of a bard. Are you looking to waste paper? Well, if Melandra lets you, it is your right. Still, you had best print something useful to the citizenry, not just something pleasant to a handful of intellectuals. Let's get to it. I'll send the horses to get this delivery the rest of the way to the capital. So we can build a printing house for free. Okay. Then we will, I guess, set that up in our capital. And here I was blaming the witch, and it wasn't her fault. Just happened to be bandits in her territory.
I'm there.
We'll collect it all. We're gonna be heading back anyway. We can sell the random trash. So we should be able to build that printing press now. Alright, so you triumphed on the gambler problem. Excellent. Gambler was found in a ditch near one of the taverns. His throat cut and his pockets empty. All his winnings went to the treasury. That is a way of handling it. So you just murdered the gambler and then took all their money. Cool. That is certainly... yeah, that's certainly something. Fey magic, another problem. Fey magician visited a settlement and made everyday things come to life. The people seem to be more frightened than amused by the minor and generally harmless anomaly. How can you do? You're only 70%. I'd have to use a crisis point for you. Christian is 85, which is probably good enough. But it's going to build loyalty versus divine. And we do need more divine than loyalty. That would actually get our divine high enough to rank up. Which would feel good. Alright, I'm going to spend the crisis point just so we can keep boosting divine. Because I think that'll be better in the long run. So you start on that. We don't have any other events to work on. So now I can build a printing press for free. Or not. Probably needs to be in a larger town. One thing I did read online when I was looking into how building works is I think in order to increase the size of our village... There you go. Every 3 villages acquired in your domain will enable you to upgrade one of them to the town level, provided that 6 or more slots have occupied in that village. The first upgrade must take place in the capital. Yeah, that's my problem. So, I've only got 4 things built here, which is why we aren't upgrading to a town. I don't need community and loyalty. I guess we're focused on the stats that I care about. And basically everything on the lower half, relations, divine. Divine's probably not as important. Arcane would be decent. But stability, culture, and espionage. So brewery boosts relations, which would help. Culture would help. I don't think we need community. No, we don't need community. Or loyalty. Or economy. We've already got a shrine. And I think... do we have a smith? No. So the arrows aren't saying what we have, it's what can be upgraded. Watchtowers for espionage, okay. +1 to military when located in a settlement with a barracks. +1 to stability when with walls. So the watchtower can only be built there, but I think that's also where the lumber yard... oh no, the lumber yard can be built anywhere. I thought the lumber yard was one that had to be built there. So brewery. +1 loyalty when located in settlement with a windmill. Stability when located in settlement with a tavern. But it doesn't matter where it's built. Let's start a brewery. And you want a windmill. Windmill wants a granary and brewery. Granary gives community. So yeah, if we do granary, brewery, and windmill, those will all work together. So then the windmill, I need 40 BP more. Come on, stick out here. There you go. And that can only be built up here, which is fine. So when those are all done, this will rank up, or be able to be ranked up to a town. Number of villages, 0. Then every 3 villages acquired. I don't know about that. Although part of me thinks I should also, for my capital, focus on the walls, watchtower, and barracks as well. But I don't know. That's fine there. We have enough towns that we might be able to rank up another one. So there's probably... I should probably look into what town I want to rank up next. To be... Or which village to rank up next to be a town. Because I've got a lot of villages. But anyway, that's that. Let's head back to town. When we get there, we can hand over the letter to the merchant and also talk to Lindsay.
Nice. Don't you think?
We should gather our strength.
How much farther is it? 10 more hours? Yeah, we can camp. 10 hours is a pretty long time.
I'm sorry. How can you live without faith at all?
You said yourself that everything in this world is pointless. Do you think faith is an exception?
Fair question. Yeah, the atheistic point of view in Pathfinder is interesting because obviously they understand the gods are real. They just don't worship them, which is an interesting perspective. So let's go to the market first. Then I suppose we'll need to go to the tavern to talk to Lindsay again. Probably. Alright, so Hassif. Hi, Lindsay? Greetings, Your Grace. Wait, I want you to meet someone. Here, this is Tessie the Quill, a book peddler. If not for her, I'd probably still be sitting in a radish patch in my hometown. Tessie, a plump woman bearing heavily patched clothes, greets you with a broad, gap-toothed smile. Nice to meet you, Your Barony. Thanks for keeping an eye on on this little tot. Where are you from? How did you meet Lindsay? What brought you here? Will you be staying? Or you travel around? Have you heard anything interesting about my neighbors? Where are you from? Right now or in general? I came from Yvonne. Right now. As for in general, well, I'm from everywhere and nowhere. Was found under a bush and I've traveled with the wind ever since. Haha. How'd you meet Lindsay? Went through a village from time to time. Weren't many buyers. I was lucky to sell half a dozen calendars each year, maybe a couple cheap vulgar prints. Then a priest from the capital went to live there, and he got the young people interested in reading little by little. Some would ask for romance stories, some wanted heroic tales. Well, one day this little tot came by and traded her father's belt, 2 bottles, and a hunk of bread for a 2-volume collection of legends of the Arch Knights of Avestan. Came back later all tear-stained, looked like her daddy didn't need the belt after all. So she sniffles to me and says, "Take me with you, I can help," and looks at me like a lost puppy. So I took her along, why not? And that's what got the ball rolling. So you've always been a thief, Lindsay? What brought you here? A little bird told me about a proper city in the Stolen Lands now. One with a printing house, with an old friend of mine sitting in that printing house at that. Man, that bird traveled fast. So I came to see her, maybe buy some books while I'm at it. Will you be staying? Me? Not really sure. Probably for a while at least. People here seem fine. They read at least. Then again, there is a printing house here, and I get to catch up with Lindsay. Hadn't seen her for a few years, you know? And I get tired of things here. After I get tired of things here, I'll be on my way again. So, you travel around. Have you heard anything interesting about my neighbors? It's worth 10 gold. Tessie hides the money and smiles knowingly. Of course I do. What do you want to hear about? How are things in Brevoy? Bad. People in Restov are honing their swords. With the royal house gone, it's just a matter of time until some big uproar. Everyone knows it, and no one wants it, and there doesn't seem to be any way to avoid it. Any news from Mivon? The usual, schemes and duels. Seems a bunch of runaway bandits flooded in there from Brevoy. Rumor has it the great houses are intentionally straining Mivon, so the Adori there won't be able to help Restov when the carnage begins. What about Patax? Under King Aravetti wasn't it? Under King Aravetti, what isn't? Parties, parades, executions, the king robs the trade houses that used to own the city. He brought some gang in from Numeria who's been selling deliriant potions. He sends strange expeditions into nearby lands, but no one knows what he's looking for. Nobody can tell what the cook's thinking. That's what he always wins. That's why he always wins. Has anyone asked about my lands? Now don't you go taking me for a spy, alright? Honestly, go ahead and check me with magic, or just ask Lindsay. I'm happy to hear and pass along rumors, but I don't go spying on purpose. My business is books. As for your question, well, of course they're interested. People in Restov want to know if they were right to wager on you, while Mivon and Pitax are still trying to take their measure of their new neighbor. No one knows what to expect from you, so they're getting themselves ready for some surprises. Thank you. It's enough for now. You're always welcome. We peddlers are pretty good at judging rumors, you know? Anything else interesting? No, okay. Well, farewell. A good day to you. Take care, Lindsay. Alright, Hassif. The man bows to you, spreading his arms a little. Hassif from Absalom is happy to welcome you, your grace. Come take a look at the best wares we traveling merchants have to offer. Please, come take a look. Vadrani asked us to give you this letter. She claimed that your families know each other. Oh, we didn't read the letter. Give me a moment. It's always good to read the letters. So let's go to newest. Letter to Hassif. We read these others? Yeah, let's make Varn's letter. Oh, come on. A letter from the Shania family, addressed to the family of the merchant Hassif. Yeah, okay. As soon as you finish speaking, Hassif snatches the letter from your hands and immediately breaks the seal, quickly running his eyes along the lines. His face grows pale and his hands clench. He takes his time, ripping the letter into tiny pieces, enjoying the process. Damn that disgusting wretch and that entire family. They decide to send me a letter, as though I don't know that only poison trickles from their mouths. Wow. You got strong feelings. After calming down a bit, Hassif turns to you. You probably did not know what was in the letter. All the better. You shouldn't burden yourself with a feud between families living on opposite sides of the world. You did your part, and I'm grateful to you, at least for caring to deliver this letter to me. Though it was written by traitors, your intentions were pure, of that I'm certain. Okay. Well, let's sell the random goods we picked up. So we need to go back to Shania at some point, but I think we'll save that for another time. We don't have anything more with Lindsay, so that resolved all of that. Yeah, I guess we're ready to go to Varnhold. I'm putting it off for a while, doing basically anything else first. You want to keep Lindsay in the party? Probably not. I don't think she's the most powerful of characters. I'm gonna go back with Jubilost. However, I think this is a good stopping place for the episode. Next episode, we will make our way up towards Varnhold. And then while we're in the area, maybe we will try and explore a bit more of the local region. It's my current thought. I guess we'll see. But that'll be for next time. For now, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.